Hey guys, it's Laura. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my third update in my 19 eyeshadows in 2019 Project Pan. At the beginning of the year, I had selected 19 eyeshadows that I wanted to work on. I had originally selected 10 either singles or duos, and I had kept those, but then in my last update I decided to switch up some of the shades that I had picked that were in palettes. I have 9 different palettes going in this project, and the colors I selected at the beginning of the year I just wasn't feeling. Later on, some of the shades I picked I just wasn't into anymore, so I decided to switch it up and pick kind of like one base shade, one crease shade, one lid shade, and etc. So I switched it up, and since I've switched it up, I've seen a lot more progress in my panning. So I had since the first two updates I had, well, let's see, in the first update I had panned 3 shades, and then in my second update I had panned 2 more, so 5 shades. This update I have 6 new pans to share with you, so that's really exciting. So I did much better in this last 3 months than I did in the previous 6 months. So that's really exciting. I do have so that is a total of 11 shades. So I have 3 months to hit 8 more shades. Don't know if that'll happen, but I'm still gonna give it my all and get as close to 19 eyeshadows as I possibly can. I think there's a couple in here that I have a really good chance of hitting pan on. So let's just jump into it. Let's start with the setting shade that I used, and I did have dates on this one, which is the only one I really kind of kept track of, but it was a brand new shade when I started trying to pan it. So I started it on 6/27 and I finished it on 9/10. So just under 3 months it took me to pan this shade, and it is from the Profusion Ultra Warm palette, and this is the shade that I was using to set my eye primer. I do have quite a big dip in it. Besides just the pan, it's worn down a lot around where the pan is showing, and that's just because I would use a really fluffy brush. So that's kind of why it took me almost 3 months, because I was using that fluffy brush, so it did take longer to hit pan. But I did use this I did use it every time I did my eyeshadow, so I'm really excited about that. I don't have another kind of setting shade in this project, so I'm just kind of using whatever now, which is fine. Then let's go on to the crease shades. So I did hit pan on one crease shade. It comes from my Lorac Mega Pro 4, and I was using the shade Mocha, and I thought these pans are kind of smaller, but it still took me quite a while to use this. So these shades, although they look smaller, they do last a really long time, and I really like this formula as well. So yeah, really excited to see pan in that. So the next one that I'm working on for a crease / transition shade comes from my Milani Pure Passions palette, and I am panning the shade Totally Fawn of You. And as you can see, I have a really good dip going in there. It's this one right here. I think I'm really close to hitting pan. I was thinking maybe I'd hit pan today and I'd have another one to show you, but you know, you never know with shadows. You think you're really close and then you're not. So I could hit pan tomorrow, or it could take me another couple weeks. So we'll just see, but I definitely think this is one that I'll be able to finish by the end of the year. After that one's done, I'm going to start on one from this Profusion Bold palette. And in the last update, I said I was going to pick this one, or this one. I think I'm leaning towards that one just because it's neutral. This one's a little more cool tone. This one's a little more warm tone. So depending on what I do with my look, this is one that I can probably wear with any look or any colors. So that's the one I'm kind of leaning towards. So that will be my next one. And then let's talk about lid shades. So I did hit pan on one lid shade, and it comes from my Coastal Scents Revealed Smoky Eyeshadow Sampler. Came in like maybe an Ipsy or something. And I have both of these shades are in this project. So I hit pan on this shade, which is just a really pretty like pink champagne color, and I use it as an all over lid shade. This one I have not used quite as much. It's a little more cool toned, and this is older, so this one doesn't have great quality to it, but I'm still gonna try to pan that one. This one took me a little longer than I thought it would, because I thought since it was smaller and the pan's not so deep, I thought it would go a little bit quicker, but I was using just my finger, so I was wearing away a lot of it, more evenly than if I were to use a brush. So, but I am excited to say I hit pan on that one. And then my next one that I'm currently working on is this duo from Simply Vera Wang. This is an old product. It is not made anymore. This is the duo. It has champagne and then a gold, and I kind of use these interchangeably just based on what I'm feeling that day. I'm more focused on this one. I've been into these lighter shades lately, so I'm tending to use this one more, but maybe as we get more into fall, I might maybe feel like using the gold a little bit more. So see if you can, not sure if you're going to be able to tell, I'm focusing like here in the pan and here, so this one has a little bit of a dip, nothing too significant. I don't know how, since I'm using my finger, like I said, I'm wearing away more of the pan. I can feel a dip in here. One thing with these shadows, because they are so old, I'm really pressing my fingers hard in order to get enough product on my finger to get it on my lid. So that might help use it up a little bit faster, but yeah, they both still, like when I swatch them, they're both still pretty pigmented, and I do like the shades. So I'm hoping if at least I can get this one done. Not sure if I'll be able to do both by the end of the year, but I definitely want, that's my goal, is to definitely for sure hit this one. So I'm going to try to do that one. And then let's talk about like outer corner shades. So this is actually the one that I saw the most progress on. My last update, I just finished this shade from my Dream Street palette. I was working on Elfish, so that's the one that I had finished for the last update. So I decided I needed another dark, and I just use a dark brown most of the time, so I decided to take it from my BH Cosmetics Weekend Festival palette, and I was working on the shade Hipster, and I hit pan on this one. The BH formula, at least in this palette, is pretty soft. This one didn't take me nearly as long as the ColourPop one took me like a couple months. This one, I didn't really like write dates down, but I feel like it was like 3 weeks maybe, and like really short time compared to what I experienced with this one. So I was kind of thinking that one took forever, this one's gonna take forever, but it really didn't. And then the next two that followed it were even shorter. So the next one was shorter, and then the one after that was even shorter after that. So the next one that I hit pan on, it comes from my Cargo Chill in the 6 palette, and this is the shade Goose, and I did hit pan. I was originally planning on to do this one shade called Dundas Street, but since I needed another brown, I decided to switch to this one, and I hit pan really quick, just a couple weeks on this one before I saw pan on that one. And obviously with these shades, I'm using kind of a more smaller, pointier brush, so I'm seeing progress faster than, like, let's say the setting shade or my lid shade. And then the next one I picked was from Foil Eyes 2 BH Cosmetics palette. So I needed another brown shade, and I was trying to find one in the palettes that were still in this project, but I hadn't hit pan in yet. And I was like, well, let me try this shade. Now this palette is an all shimmer palette. So I decided to try this, a shimmer brown, instead of what I usually use, which is a matte brown. And I actually really liked the results. So this was the shade that I ended up using. And as you can see, I hit pan. Again, like the Weekend Festival palette, these are super soft. So I was able to hit pan pretty quickly. And I just like the effect that this shimmer gives on the eyes, because I'll use it on the outer corner, and then I'll use kind of a smaller but still fluffy brush to put it under the eyes, and it kind of gives a softer look because I'm using a fluffier brush than I would normally use. Or like with a matte, when you put a shimmer on, I usually use my fingers to get the most intense look from it, but when you put it on a fluffier brush, it kind of diffuses it a little bit. And I just thought it was really pretty. So I actually really enjoyed that, and I don't think I ever would have tried it had it not been for this project. So yeah, that was kind of fun, and I hit pan on that really quickly, and I've used it since then as well, since hitting pan, because I do like the look. It's just good for like an everyday work appropriate look. Right, so let's see. I have another palette that I'm working on. So that's all the ones I've hit pan on. We'll talk about what's left in this project. So I do have a shade from a palette that I cannot find. It is my Too Faced chocolate bar palette, and I am panning the shade Champagne Truffle. I'm using it as an inner corner highlight, although I have not been using it recently because I think I took it like in another room and it never made it back into my like room where I get ready. So I do have a pretty good dent in it, but it's like a really like small, because I'm using the tiniest brush. But I do have progress in there, but I can't show it to you because I don't know where it is. So hopefully I can find that by the end of the year. Once I come across it, I do think if I'm using it regularly, I think I could definitely hit pan in that shade. We already talked about the Coastal Scents, and I think the that one I need to hit pan on. And then there's this L single. Again, this is not in production anymore. It's super old. So I have this one to work on, which I'll end up probably using as a lid shade as well. So, but like I said, I don't know if I'll get to this one because I still have those two from the Vera Wang duo to work on. And then the other one, which I also can't find, is it's like a crayon from Tristique. It is in the shade Aspen Pine, so it's a green. I haven't been using that one just because it's a dark green. Not really sure how to use it, so, but yeah. And like I said, I have misplaced it, so it's around here somewhere because I've seen it recently. So still in the project. I probably won't hit pan on it. Plus it's a stick, so it's gonna take me a long time to get through. It's just a travel size. I think it's a travel size. But still, if it's like this much a product, it's still gonna take me a while to get through. So, but yeah, so I'm really excited with the progress that I've made. Seeing these pans is super motivating. So, I'm gonna keep trucking away at it, and we'll see where I am. My next update will come, or my next update will be the finale at the end of the year. So like I said, I will leave my first two updates down below, as well as my Project Pan playlist. I'm doing the 19 in 2019 all year for all my products. That project is going on. I'm also doing the Roulette Pan Collab project, so I will leave the link to that playlist down below if you feel like checking those out. If you like this video, I hope you give it a thumbs up and subscribe and stick around for more videos, and I hope you have a great day. Bye.